brought to you by Dan Deary, proudly serving the Cedar Valley for 3 generations.
The UNI Panthers drop a nail-biter 17-14 to a South Dakota football team that in the top 25 for the FCS stats poll this last Saturday coming into the Dome. And Coach, just a 3-point loss. They hit a program record 58-yard field goal, proves to be the difference in the end. And just a few miscues once again ended up being detrimental for your team.
Yeah, just sometimes we just can't get out of our own way. We talk about beating ourselves, eliminating penalties. And I told the team this on Sunday. If we're the most penalized team, but those are all aggressive penalties, I'm okay with that. So a few of those, we were playing hard, we were playing aggressive, and those things are going to happen. But I mean, just whether it's too many guys on the field, whether it's running into a guy that's trying to field a kick, I mean, those are things you definitely can control. We're still climbing in some phases. We're still trying to figure our way out in others. But the nice thing is the guys are still hungry. There's still lots of opportunities, a lot of football left to be played.
Had a field goal opportunity as well, down 10 at the time, that hit the upright, ends up no good for the Panthers, end up falling by 3 points. Coach, that defense, though, just continues to look so stout and so strong. You're seeing it week after week now. Consistently, they're putting together a full 60-minute game.
Yeah, and the challenge was to stop the run this week. They had a great running back. Their offensive line, again, as a unit was really solid, and you just saw us time and time again just stymie it. We had probably a few more missed tackles this week after watching the tape, but they had some guys that could make you miss. And when you're playing great team defense, when all 11 guys are playing it the way it should be played, doing their job, being gap sound, being able to fit the run the right way, you're going to have great results. And yeah, it's cliche. The great teams, they run the ball, they stop the run, and they defend in the kicking game. And so far we're 2-3. If we can find that third piece, I think we'll start to have some wins.
Just the third game of the season, South Dakota's held under 100 yards rushing as a team. Panthers also limited on just 3 of 12 on third downs. Jalen Pettis, a couple of sacks. He looks like a guy just kind of getting more and more in game shape and just looking more hungry out there.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. If you're not a football fan, you really don't know what to look at. Just try to find 95 out there. And I think he had taken a little bit of time away from the game, and so we knew watching his tape from high school and from junior college that he had something special, and we're just really lucky and fortunate to have him. And more than how he's made progress and strides on the field, he's just a great locker room guy. I think anybody on our team loves having him around, and he's doing it for the right reasons. He plays it the right way, and he's a great person.
Yeah, number 95 was everywhere. Tucker Langenberg led the defense in tackles once again. He continues to excel. In the secondary, though, Joe Hall III. We have a story coming up later in our show on Joe Hall III, a Panther newcomer, comes up with a huge tackle on 4th and 1 in a race to the pylon.
The linebackers, to kind of circle back, I mean, Jalen made a ton of impact plays with those 2 sacks, but the linebackers in general, they are really getting it. They're flying to the ball. They're either fitting their gap how they should be, or they're making it right when things aren't necessarily clean. So, yeah, that 4th and 1 was might have been one of my favorite plays of the year, just because the defense that we're in, we're in our sneak front, where we're anticipating that ball either getting as a quarterback sneak because they had a bigger quarterback, or give it to their stud running back and see if he can get that yard. And they go trick play, reverse. Joe's in man coverage on that guy. The linebacker to that side, kind of. There's a safety of Scoville, kind of dips the blocker, goes for a shot, makes the guy miss, and it's a race to the sticks. And Joe comes out of nowhere and just clobbers him, and we're back on the field on offense. It was a really cool play.
Defense coming up with some good plays, and we'll have another test coming up at Southern Illinois. Back-to-back road games coming up for the Panthers. More with Coach Stepsis coming up on Panther Sports Talk.